Welcome to the final episode of The Legend of Zelda the Complete Story series. If you're joining us at the end, you might want to go all the way back to the beginning. Click episode 1 to start this series from the start. Alright, we're going to go over our usual disclaimer. Enjoy your responses to your favorite Zelda sidekick. Today's question is, which mode of transportation did you enjoy the most? Epona the horse, the King of the Red Lions, which is your boat, or your train on the spirit tracks? Or maybe another form that I completely forgot about. It's time to start our disclaimer. You're probably going, oh my god, the Zeldas are connected. Yep, for the 25th anniversary, Nintendo released the official History Book of Hyrule, linking together all of the timelines. At Ocarina of Time is when things get sloppy though, as it breaks off into 3 different directions. If you want to see the beginning of the Hyrule world, go ahead and check out episode 1. While we're going to be discussing everything in the game, the purpose of this series is to give you a working knowledge of your favorite storylines. So while we'd love to give you 5-hour videos for each of the game's little plots and nods to the other games, we can't do that. I'm sorry, we just don't have that kind of time. With all of that out of the way, it's time to go ahead and start at a day and age when Link was a pirate! Let's once again return to the Ocarina of Time. In a future, once Ganon was sealed, Zelda sent Link back to the past as a child. But what happened to the future timeline? We now have a world that's been saved and a Ganon that's been sealed, and there is no more Hero of Time. Time passed onward within the timeline, and we reached a day when the Hero of Time was nothing more than a legend. When this day arrived, Ganon made his return. The seals weren't broken, he literally crawled out of the depths of the earth. The people prayed for the hero to once again free them from this evil, but no hero stepped forward this time. This time, we didn't have a Link, or a Triforce of Courage. In a desperate final attempt, the king of the land of Hyrule made a plea with the gods, and with that, he trusted that the fate of his kingdom was going to be handled by them. The gods warned select members of the kingdom and told them to flee to the mountains. With that, they flooded the entire kingdom, sinking Ganon, the king, and the kingdom of Hyrule to the bottom of a great ocean. Hundreds of years passed with the people of Hyrule rebuilding on their islands in their new water kingdom. Everything seemed to be going well, that is, until Ganondorf was once again resurrected. Ganondorf began his plans to rule the kingdom all over again and started by attacking the Wind and the Earth Temple. As the sages of the Wind and the Earth Temple died, they managed to empower the Master Sword once again, giving it the power to select a hero to stop Ganondorf. With that, Ganondorf began his search for the current Princess Zelda, as she would have the Triforce of Wisdom, and he once again needed all 3 to gain his wish and rule the land. He did have a rather ingenious plan this time though. He took control of a mighty bird and had it begin to kidnap any girl who might fit Princess Zelda's profile. Well, this may have worked, except he kidnapped the sister of this generation's Link. Showing no fear, Link went to Ganondorf's island to retrieve his sister, and he ended up meeting up with the King of the Red Lions, the boat that our travels will commence on. Sensing something special in the boy, the King of the Red Lions gave Link the Wind Waker, a magical baton, and they set off to stop Ganon, rescue his sister, and save the kingdom once again. Their first stop was to gain the approval of the gods, which Link did, granting him the Master Sword. He is also joined by his new friend Tetra, who has a rather interesting necklace. With his new friend and his new sword, he once again assaults the castle of Ganondorf. But there was a problem this time. The Master Sword had been sealed for so long that it had lost its power to repel evil, and Link couldn't even damage Ganon. Fleeing again, Link and Tetra devise a new plan. It is at this time, though, that the King of the Red Lions realizes the situation. He reveals his true form as the King of Hyrule. He then takes the fragment of the Triforce of Wisdom that he possessed, and the necklace possessed by Tetra, which happened to be another piece of the Triforce of Wisdom, and reveals her true form as the current Princess Zelda. Now in possession of a completed Triforce of Wisdom, the King of Hyrule, aka the King of the Red Lions, aka your boat, explains that the only way to defeat Ganondorf is to once again have the age-old legendary battle of Link versus Ganon. Link would need to put the Triforce of Courage back together again to be able to defeat Ganon though. And this isn't a small task, as it's on the bottom of the ocean now. While he was off trying to put back together the Triforce of Courage though, Zelda, who had the Triforce of Wisdom, was finally kidnapped by Ganondorf. Once in possession of the Triforce of Courage, Link assaulted the fortress of Ganondorf once again. And once all three were in one location, the pieces of power, courage, and wisdom all became combined to create the Triforce itself. Granting one wish to the first person to touch it, the Triforce hovered there, waiting for Ganon, Zelda, or Link to come and grant their wish. This is when Ganondorf made his attempt to grab a hold of it, but before he could, the King of Hyrule touched it to gain his wish. Standing in the sunken land of Hyrule, and with the three legendary wielders of the Triforce of Power in his presence, the king cries to the heavens, "Wash away this ancient land of Hyrule! Let a ray of hope shine in the future of the world!" In what is known as the final fight of Hyrule, Link and Zelda defeated Ganondorf finally. The king helped Link and Zelda escape the sunken kingdom and get back to the surface. Link and Zelda decided at this point to search for a new kingdom of Hyrule together, and invited the King of Hyrule with him. Alas though, the king was too filled with regret for what he did to the once mighty kingdom of Hyrule. As he vanished with his kingdom, he asked for forgiveness and said that he scattered the seeds for a new kingdom. Within the adult timeline, this seals away Hyrule and the saga of the Triforce. For now. It is definitely an epic ending to a once mighty kingdom, though. With Hyrule gone, Zelda returned to being the leader of the pirates named Tetra, and with that, Link, Tetra, and the pirates set sail to find a new world. A short time passed, and Tetra and Link found themselves trying to see if rumors of a ghost ship were true. Upon finding the ship, Tetra decided to board the ghost ship to investigate, only to find herself kidnapped. In an attempt to keep her from being kidnapped, Link rushed to save her, only to find himself thrown into the ocean unconscious. He washes up on an island and decides to make friends with a local fairy and the captain of a boat named Captain Linebeck. The three set sail to find the ghost ship so that they can rescue Tetra and find out what's really going on. They find out that this land is full of the life force. The evil villain known as Bellum consumes power and consumed the life force out of anyone he crosses. Link managed to unlock the secrets of the Ocean King's temple and rescued the spirits of power, wisdom, and courage. Boy, those sound familiar. Using the powers from his new spirit friends, Link boards the ghost ship. It is here that Link finds the terrible fate of those who have had their life force consumed. They are turned into stone, which is the exact state that Link finds Tetra. The Ocean King then reveals himself to Link and asks our hero to once again save the day and defeat Bellum. Link needed to retrieve the Phantom Blade, the only blade strong enough to hurt Bellum. Using his newfound blade, Link manages to defeat the mighty Bellum by breaking the stone's spell on Tetra. It is then that the Ocean King reveals his true form to Link and Tetra. He explains that he summoned them to this parallel world, the world of the Ocean King. He then thanks them and bids them farewell, sending them back to their own world. It is then that they discover that only 10 minutes have passed, and with that, they continue their voyage to search for a new world. As they continued their journey, they at last found a new land. At the heart of this new land was the Tower of the Spirits, from which the spirit tracks came out of. Tetra decided to found the new Hyrule here, and a new legend was about to unfold. 100 more years passed, and our dear friends Tetra and Link passed into legend. The new Princess Zelda noticed that the spirit tracks were beginning to vanish, and slipped out of the castle with this generation's Link to find out why. It is here that they discovered that the Chancellor of the new Hyrule was attempting to resurrect the demon Malladus. His evil plan was to use Zelda's body to accomplish this goal, and with that, he kicked her spirit out of her body. Link and the spirit of Princess Zelda set off on a quest to reseal Malladus before he could become fully resurrected. They needed to lower multiple barriers to get to the top of the Spirit Tower, but once they had, they found that they were too late, and Malladus had already been resurrected. Following an intense battle, Zelda got her body back, and with a combined power of Zelda and Link, they managed to reseal Malladus and defeat the Chancellor. Link and Zelda returned to the castle of New Hyrule with the care of this new kingdom in their hands. And that concludes the adult timeline. The ancient realm, the Triforce, and even Ganon are all washed away and completely gone. A new Hyrule has been built and new stories and legends are unfolding. Will Nintendo continue this timeline? Let's hope so. With that, we conclude our 5-part series of the main Legend of Zelda timeline. But this doesn't conclude our Legend of Zelda series. Due to the sheer number of questions you guys have asked, we're going to start to launch some bonus episodes with most of our series. We know that we're trying to fill you guys in on as much story as we can, and maybe 5 episodes just isn't enough, so we're doing more. Do you have any other lingering questions for the Zelda series? Because as you know, we've already gone over the Master Sword. Check the last episode to see that. We'll answer any other questions the best we can down below. Or you can tweet us your questions. Go ahead and follow us at EligibleMonster on Twitter. Today's question was, of course, what is your favorite mode of transportation in the Zelda games? Also, don't forget to check out our comedy videos and our reviews when we actually get to writing them. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. We always answer on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the Resident Evil Complete Story, which has already started.